The news is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Tertola Pier Park, NV Salon, Nail Spa and Barbershop, Tisley Cross Deliciously Smooth Cider, and Digicel, simply more speed, reliability and entertainment.
Plug into Digicel Plus and get even more entertainment with Disney Plus included. The best of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic all in one place. Whenever you want, plug into Plus to enjoy Disney Plus and much more with a home fiber bundle. Sign up today. Digicel Plus.
The impact of the order in council that's in the United Kingdom's Parliament has on the Virgin Islands formed a part of the discussion when Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Whitley, led a delegation of Unity government legislators to the island of Anegada to meet with residents. The topic came up as one resident sought clarifications.
What are the chances of the Constitution being suspended? And if it is so, does it mean we go back to the colonialism or what? Can you explain that for us, please?
April 29th, the chances of the Constitution being suspended was very, very high. The foreign minister at the time, who is now the prime minister, had to be persuaded not to suspend the Constitution. Her intention was to suspend it, given what the report revealed, and of course that was followed by the arrest of the former premier. Her intention was to suspend the Constitution, and she had to be persuaded not to. So the actions that we took after the publication of the report, and in speaking with Minister Millen, those actions that we took prevented the Constitution from being suspended. Now, you asked what, that was back then, right? It was, you could say 90-something% chance of being suspended. The work that we've done has decreased that considerably. The best time for them to suspend the Constitution would have been at that point, right? Now you have a government working towards reform. Okay, so you really need a very strong justification to say you're going to suspend the Constitution at this point, when you have a government in place which is seeking to work collaboratively. And even with everything which has been recommended, and the good thing about a lot of the things which are being recommended are that they're open-ended. They're reviews. They haven't come to any firm conclusions. They ask lots of questions which need to be answered. And despite the fact that we have an order in council hanging over our heads, we are operating in good faith based on the dialogue that we have with the people. And if the people say this is what we want, this is what we go to the United Kingdom with. This is what the people want. And then we have that dialogue. And that's not something that we're going to compromise on, and that's not something we will allow to be jeopardized. And I believe that we'll be able to continue implementing the reforms. But there's some persons who will say to you, oh, you're not going to suspend the Constitution, so you can basically act irresponsibly and recklessly. It's still important for us to act in a responsible manner, because, and those thoughts, some people are seeking to even undermine this process. I think it's important that we reject the attempts to undermine this process, perhaps in favor of persons who found benefit from the system before. So we should not allow this process to be undermined, because we will jeopardize the very same autonomy and advancement that people like Theodore Faulkner fought for.
In terms of some of the reforms, we've had dialogue where we disagreed on certain things, and we came to an amicable agreement, and we still were able to continue with the process of putting the reforms in place.
I am going to be as frank as I can always be. I am not going to be a part of anything that we look at a situation that the suspension of the Constitution is going to be an option. I believe for us where we were pre the 28th and 29th of April 2022 was one that, yes, they had every reason to do what they, as the Premier said, intended to do. But I think what we have decided to do when we join together as this government of national unity, and I think everybody knows me in here, is fight. Is fight for the lifeblood of our country, fight for the future of this territory. So while the order of the council exists, I think what should be noteworthy is by June 30th or July 31st, sorry, of this year, we were already halfway through achieving some of the recommendations that were, even though there are 45 recommendations, there are about 75 or 76 different implementations that we have, and we were already halfway there by July 31st. So while it is there, I don't want persons to get the thought in their head that the Constitution will be suspended at any time, because as the Premier said in the opening, this is just Mitch talking, but this is just what I believe in my heart of hearts, that for them to suspend the Constitution, given all the work that we have done, given all the right that has been accomplished over the years in this Virgin Islands for over 70 plus years, ain't no good on election.
And as the Premier, the current Premier, rightfully said, we got together as Virgin Islanders and we said, look, we must do what is the best interest of this country, despite our political affiliations, despite our ambitions. Our only ambitions now has to be the ambitions of the people of this territory and the aspirations of the people of this territory. The Premier and I met on that same night, April 29th, at about 1 o'clock in the night. And we sat down, we said, look, and we've had our differences, we fought our battles, but this is what we got right now. And whatever we need to do to keep this country in our hands, we're going to get together and do it. And that's what we did.
For this JTV News Update, Kathy Richards.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Freeze. Choose your mix, choose your flavor.